May 27th, 2006 was like any other day. Being a freshman in high school and barely having any freedom, but trying to make the best of it. I was on the phone for hours, laughing with my male best friend. He was helping me get over some dumb jock who broke my heart. Talk about a Degrassi episode. But what happened next, even television shows could not prepare me for. While I was asleep, my phone died. I woke up to a very unusual voicemail. He left a message expressing how much he loves me and values our friendship. I then got a panic phone call from another friend saying she's concerned he is in danger or has hurt himself. No one was able to get through to him, and no one had any idea on his whereabouts. Then phone calls from police officers started trickling in, trying to piece together where our missing friend might be. While trying to distract my mind and push out any extreme possible outcome that was playing as a scenario, the phone call came in. My friend is dead. The words rang pain in my ears, and wrapping my head around the news was not something I was capable of doing. Then I learned the details. He wanted to leave as a soldier and jumped into the train tracks and marched to his death. May 28th, 2006, my 15-year-old friend took his own life. A guy who had a rough upbringing and an emotional story, but had the silliest, crooked tooth, infectious smile that always wanted to ensure those around him were happy, took his life, and I could not process this. My first taste of mental health within our community and not recognizing the signs, the fact that there were signs, and even understanding what that means to be emotionally and mentally unwell. This was age 14. Fast forward 6 years. Ironically, on the same holiday, Memorial Day weekend, I met my then boyfriend. We were like magnets, instantly attracted to each other, and very much so passionate people fighting our own demons without realizing. We were abusing vices together and then abusing each other together. Another front row seat to a Black man in America who was suffering his own mental battles while I was suffering my own and not knowing or understanding what the truth was behind the two because we were never exposed or taught what depression looks like. Depression consumed my life, and I was unaware of what was going on. I was having extreme mood swings going from rage to extreme breakdowns over the slightest inconvenience. Growing up with an immigrant Caribbean mother, those things were not acknowledged or accepted. With everything to be grateful for, how dare we feel sad or unwell about ourselves? I kept holding on to my pain, my trauma, and it was continuously building without any form of release. I was not processing. I was just continuing onward, and because I could overcome adversity, I was not thinking about any of my situations I had been through to be actual situations. Being date raped by a college employee who was 10 years older than me and placing blame on myself because I knew better. Holding on to hurt from being blindsided by those that I trusted because I knew better. Not achieving or fulfilling the life that people projected for myself because I'm supposed to know better. I was disappointed, uncomfortable, and unsure of myself. I couldn't find my voice and essentially felt imprisoned in my own mind and just was lashing out everywhere. This was age 22. 6 years after that relationship rightfully dissolved, I found myself in a new predicament. This stoic and private guy whom I had in my life for some time started becoming more comfortable opening up to me. All the ugly history and current misfortunate situations that were haunting his life that he did not and could not admit to within his own circle, he was finding that safe space releasing with me. I was holding and wiping tears from a man whom in his neighborhood he is feared and respected. I was holding his fears, his childhood trauma, as well as his PTSD. What I also did not realize was I was holding his energy as well. Some call it soul ties, and not all end like fairy tales. Ours surely did not. After we had one of our longest heart-to-hearts, I asked him about therapy. His response was, "Why go to therapy when I can speak to people like you?" In which I responded, "Because I'm not a professional." However, walking back into my house, those words and that conversation kept replaying, as many of our conversations did. I cannot shake them off of me. I heard a conversation I had with a coworker 4 months prior play in my head. He said there's such a push for Black women seeking healing, therapy, and starting to take care of themselves mentally. What about Black men? Black men cry too. It was a very odd epiphany that rang off, but everything started flashing back. My history of holding space for men to be open and vulnerable and recognizing they need an outlet to be heard and essentially be seen. My personal connection to this need, being raised by a woman where vulnerability and weakness were not granted grace, and building tough skin and even tougher exterior to ensure your protection and progression. We are living in a society where it appears as though our lives, and especially Black male lives, are not worth it. Repeatedly watching them being senselessly taken away by authority with no justice, and not being told or taught it's okay to feel and express feelings and emotions. Essentially further causing a detrimental, vicious, generational curse of a cycle within our community from our homes, upbringing, and most importantly, the advancement and progression as a whole. That conversation sparked the development of BlackMenCryToo, which is an invitation for men of color to feel safe to share their truth and unpack their hurt. The space was created as an invitation for Black men to feel empowered to share their truth and know it's okay, that they can cry too. Using this platform to act as a stepping stone to promote and jumpstart men's healing journey by showing support of a woman of color, actively listening, and helping them share their story to break the taboo stigma of the tough capability to have these conversations and show the true perspective of being a Black man in America, which is told completely different by mainstream media. Black men carry a lot and have no place to unload their weight. And through all of my heartbreaking experiences, using that to recognize a gift to help others never feel hopeless, low, broken, abused, alone, or incapable. Building support and a community around unlearning and healing. This has been my current journey. This is 28. I'm Catherine, and this is my brave.